I'm live, but I can't get this to work. Here we go. Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Setting this up. I'm in a hotel room in New York City, and you can see all my hotel room business behind me. But I'm using a shopping bag as a tripod because I didn't bring a tripod this time, so it's kind of janky. But hey y'all, I'm in New York. It's such a weird angle for me. I'm not used to doing this like this. So I'm gonna grab my laptop so I can see your comments. And good morning to everyone who's here. Thanks for being here with me today. Hold please. All right. So I wanted to talk about this trip back to New York, and I hope you guys are all doing really well. When I say back to New York, it's been years since I've been here. Maybe like before 2016. So maybe 2015. 2015, I think, was the last time I was in New York, so it's been a while. And I gotta tell you, I was kind of dreading this trip. I was not looking forward to it at all. Because in my brain, I don't know why, but New York always like strikes me as like a difficult city, right? Like, people, large boroughs and trains and wah. It takes like, I remember the last time I was here, I think I went from like Harlem to Brooklyn, and it took like 17 hours. Like, it was just, you know. But this time has been a really different experience. I've enjoyed it a lot more than I expected. So yay! But I did want to talk about like as what it looks like to come back to America as someone who no longer lives here. What my primary focus was on this trip, and what you guys should be thinking about if you're going back to the place you're from after you move abroad. So first, drop any questions you have in the comments. Hey, I'm still working on getting to the comments, so I'll be able to see them in a minute. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what comments you have. Let me know what's going on in your world. Where are you? Good morning, Yvette. Good morning, Halisi. It's really hot in here right now. I just turned on all the lights. And it's like 1,000 degrees, and these windows do not open because I guess it's 18 inches wide. Sound is going in and out. Okay. Oh, please. I'm gonna be right back. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, let's try this with let's try it with the microphone. Try it with the microphone. The sound better now? How's it going? Better sound? Let me know. If not, I can switch to headphones, I think. Sound is better. Okay, so I guess I can't charge my phone and do this. I'll just be on the mic. Yay, okay. I don't know why it wasn't good before, but we're here. We're making it happen. I'm going to try to see your comments. Let's do this. Okay, y'all. How you doing? How you been? It's been a while. I didn't go live last week because I didn't want to. But I'm back now. Okay, so I'm in New York now, and I have a training to do on Monday. And so I was like, let me take advantage of it and do all the things I would normally want to do in a city when I'm like in the US. So I shopped. That's really what I did here. Back in New York, like I said, it's been a year since I've been here. I have a lot of friends here, so I've been spending a lot of time seeing people. But what I did to prepare for this trip was mostly like shop. I have friends who live here, so I'm gonna tell you about shopping for a second, but let me back up a second. We're gonna talk about that, but let me back up a second. Everything about this coming here was like very indicative of like the countries I'm in. So like leaving Mexico was very, very Mexican. And coming to America was very American. New York has been very New York for me. Just everything was kind of like, this is what I should expect. So I'm leaving, and at least, yes. So my shopping in April is related to No Spend January, but I'll tell you how a little later on. Um, I get to the airport, and you guys saw Eve, Disabled Diva Travels, on my channel before. And one of the things she always talks about is the fact that you have to advocate for yourself. Like when you're traveling, when you're at airports, you have to know what's required of you and advocate for yourself, because these airline people don't know what they're doing. No offense to any airline people watching, but the, so I'm checking in for my flight. I gotta wait. I wait in like 45 minutes to get in. Check in for my flight, and the lady's like, I need your FMM card, which is the visa, but like, it's not a visa, it's like an entry permit that they give to tourists when they come in. But I am not a tourist. I have residency in Mexico, so I don't get that. And she was like, yeah. I was like, I'm a resident, so I don't get it. And she was like, it doesn't matter that you're a resident. You have to have one and you have to give it to me. And I was like, no, I don't. Okay, the volume's still doing that? I don't know what to do because I'm not touching anything. All right, someone comment and let me know if you can still hear what the volume's doing. Rhonda said it's going in and out. Okay. Thanks, Adelia. So the woman at the airport is now arguing. We're going back and forth like for 3 minutes about whether I need to have an FMM, which I do not have. Like I do not have it to give it to you. So what are we gonna do? Like it's not that I lost. It's not that they gave it to me and I lost it. It's that I have as a resident, I have a different procedure. When I'm leaving the airport, they give me a form and I have to return it when I come back into the country. So that's the process for residents. And she was like, no, you can't get on this flight unless you have your FMM to like give me. And I was like, how about I show you my residency card? She was like, it doesn't matter that you're a resident. So we're going back and forth. And I'm like, that's just not true. Like it's not true. And finally she stops and she talks to like the guy sitting beside her who can hear our entire conversation, but is truly trying to mind his own business. So she started talking to him and he's like, no, she's right. I was like, you could have jumped in at any time. At any time you could have stopped this like Laurel and Hardy act of who's on first, right? Like you could have said, no, she's good. But I was like, I was going to say, Angela said she's not looking forward to it. I've never had it happen before. But when it did happen, that the point I'm trying to make is that she was so loud and wrong. She might be new. Maybe she was having a bad day. She just didn't remember this thing. This fact escaped her brain. I don't know what it was. But she was so adamant that I needed to go to immigration and pay $60 for the lost form and then come back and wait in that line or whatever it was going to have to be. And I was like, that's not, like, if I didn't know, because I've flown before, that this is not the rule, I might have been like, okay, well, the airport lady told me this, so, okay, no. She was wrong, and strong and wrong, like B. Irvin said. But I was like, why are you, maybe I know what I'm talking about? Like, maybe me as a resident, I know what I'm talking. She was like, no. So that was annoying. And then I have a 6:25 a.m. flight. I got to the airport at 5:30 a.m. I'm tired. It was a day after our Brothers and Sisters of Mexico City meetup. So we stayed out late, got home, had to finish packing, got up at like 4 a.m. for this flight. I got to the airport at 5:30. I got through 45 minutes in line, so I got done with the process at 6:15. My flight boards at 7:25 a.m. She tells me and writes on my ticket that I need to be at the gate at 6:25. I'm leaving her at 6:15, and she tells me I have to be at the gate at 6:25. Now that's an hour before boarding, so I'm bewildered by that. Like, why would I need to be at the gate an hour before boarding? But also, I don't have time to be bewildered because I told you I still have to go through security. And I have to go to immigration because as a resident, you have to do an immigration process, fill out half a form before
after security, but before you get to your gate, you have to go to immigration. So it's on the other side of the terminal from where I'm going through security. And then I've got to make it to my gate in 10 minutes. And mind you, it's 5:30. I've been up for an hour and a half and I have not eaten. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm cranky. So anyhow, so there I go. Like I'm not even running at this point. I'm like, whatever's supposed to happen is gonna happen. I'm gonna stop and buy some fruit because I'm not getting on this plane hungry. I'm gonna go to immigration. I'm gonna get it done as quickly as possible, but I'm not going to rush. We get there and it's in the bowels of the airport. You know those gates that are like in the bottom of the airport where it's just like chaos. It's like you go down some stairs or something, and it's just like it's usually like in America. It's usually like the Caribbean island gates. We put them all together, and they're like somewhere in some of these airports they have those. So I'm in the basement. We got to take a bus to the plane, and they were like, "Oh, we're not." We all had zones on our right boarding zones. They were like, "No, we're not doing zones. Everybody just get in." Chaos, absolute chaos of people pushing, people doing this, people doing. I was like, "This isn't." I'm standing next to someone who I know was holding a first class ticket, and they're being like crushed to get on. And I was like, if I paid this much money, I did not for this trip, but if I paid this much money for a first class ticket and I had to do all that, I would be pissed. Greta, yes, I have global entry, but it doesn't do anything for you in Mexico. But it did make when I got to the US, I was sitting towards the front of the plane. I was in comfort. Um, so I was the first person on my flight to make it through immigration because I had global entry. And I was quicker than the other guy who had global entry. I'm fast with it. So I made it through. The bags came out. I bought my ticket on Delta, but it was an Aeromexico flight. Um, oh, that reminds me. At the, this lady at the ticketing counter it was like new, but it was like special new. At one point, she was like, "You didn't pay for your bags yet." And I was like, "I have a free bag included with my ticket." And then she's chickadee, 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 things. And she calls the guy over and they're whispering to each other. And I was like, "Is there a problem?" I keep saying, "Is there a problem? Is there a problem?" No. And then she's like, "I need to see the credit card you paid for this with." Okay. But it was something about the free bag. It wasn't like my ticket itself. It was about the free bag that comes with the credit card I used. But it was like right there on the Delta side, I can see that I have a free bag. It tells me that. Like, why doesn't it tell you? Like, why is this a thing? But it was just a lot. It was a lot. Halisi asked what global entry is. A little bit of a sidebar, but global entry is the process that allows you to get through immigration. So usually skip the line. You can use a machine to, well, right now, because the government knows everything. Like at this point, it's the way it's set up. I walked up to the machine. It said, "Put your face in this area here. Put your face in here." I had to sit on my tippy toes because y'all know I'm a little short, and I pressed the button for a photo. It took a photo of me, and then it gave me an entry form. I didn't have to type in anything. I didn't have to do anything. You used to have to like slide your passport in. No, it just took a photo of your face, and they're like, "We know which black girl you are. Slide on through." I talked to the customs officer. Customs officers give me a hard time a lot, even with global entry. This was a black guy, and he was like, "Come on in." Um, so yes, Halisi, global entry includes TSA pre-check. So if you have global entry, you automatically have TSA pre-check, but it helps you get through customs quicker. And because I travel a bunch, it's a lot easier for me. It's also part of getting it for me was to cut down on like the immigration red tape, but it never Depending on where you're coming from, these American custom agents who ain't going nowhere get real mad. They'd be like, I had one go through my ticket once and was like, what were you doing in Jordan? I was like, that was 2 years ago. Why are you asking? Like, I have been approved for global entry, which means the powers that be trust me that I'm like flying it, like that I am a safe person to trust coming in and out of the country. Why do you want to know what I was doing in Jordan 2 years ago? What do people normally do in Jordan? They camp out and go on the rocks and stuff. Like, what? Do you ask everybody who's been to Jordan that question? Child, why are you here? Um, but global entry is supposed to help you, like Aria said, help you breeze through. But sometimes you get a little angry customs man or immigration man, and it's not, doesn't work like that. Did this time. Okay, so New York is fine. Taking, I hit up two of my friends and I was like, what's the best way to get, I'm staying close to Times Square. Yes, Aria, a lot of credit cards reimburse for global entry. That's how I have mine. My credit card pays for my global entry, which covers my pre-check. Even though I paid for pre-check separately before I had global entry because my company paid for pre-check. Anyway, my friends were like, take an Uber or a train. Cool. I get out here, I check Uber. Uber's $85 to go for 45 minutes. I was like, what is America? What is this? Because in Mexico, that same 45-minute ride from the airport is like $8. I was like, $85. I've gotten real Mexican about my price tags. Like, I've gotten accustomed to like this Mexico City life. $85. I was like, all right, what's this train talking about? Because I had luggage, but my luggage, y'all, I flew in with empty luggage. We're going to talk about that when we get to the shopping part. I flew in with empty luggage. So I checked Lyft too. Lyft was 90 something. And I was like, what is y'all doing? What is y'all? Yeah, I was like, 85? What is train talking about? I sent a friend a photo of me from a train. It's not something I would post, but I want her to know I was in the city. But there was also like a man sleeping on the, like stretched out on the train. And she was like, why are you on that train? And I was like, I am not paying $85 for an Uber. My spirit can't take that anymore. Like when I lived in the US and if someone else was paying for it, yes. But now, I can't do that. So I was on a train with a man sleeping on the train, which was really offensive to some people. Like I saw a man come on the train and look at the man stretched out sleeping on the train with like absolute disgust on his face. And he was mad because I think he wanted to sit there, whatever. Bro, you're not wearing a mask. You're on public transportation where masks are still required and you're not wearing a mask. Don't worry about the sleepy man. Put a fucking mask on your face and leave the rest of it. I was like, the attitude on your face and the huffing and puffing you're doing, you're huffing and puffing with no mask on. What's happening? Yeah, I didn't realize the taxis were cheaper. And someone said it sounds like Uber Black. No, that was Uber Regular from JFK to Penn Station. Just regular. So friends, I got to Penn Station. I know what I'm doing. I'm transferring. I got this. I love subways. I love subways in other cities, in like cities in general. So, love it. I get to Penn Station and the man makes the announcement, oh, hey, this is an accessible station. There's an elevator, blah, blah, blah. And I have luggage. I could have lifted it up the stairs if I needed to, but like, so when I walked towards the elevator and I was like, Deborah says she hasn't worn a mask in months, but on public transportation, are you not wearing a mask on trains? Tell us, Deborah. It's not a safe space. It's not a safe space, Deborah. Don't tell us. Okay. So yeah, so I stepped towards the elevator and I grew up in Southern California and I know how things turn left real quick. Part of my brain kicked in and I was like, I should not get on this train elevator by myself. Like, this does not feel like the smartest idea. But I've got my bags, and I'm like, I'm a power through. I'm going to do this. The elevator door opens, and in the corner, there is human excrement in the corner of, of the elevator. I've literally been in New York City for about 2 hours. And now here I am sharing an elevator with poop. Because I got on an elevator. I was like, I don't really have a choice. Like, I really don't want to lift these bags up the stairs. So me and this poop and these other women that came on the train and almost stepped in it because they didn't see it. We all ride in this elevator like we do not see shit. I said, oh, well, okay. Okay. Less than 2 hours, and I'm seeing human poop. I said, okay, well, I knew it wasn't a good idea, but I knew I didn't have many choices. No, on the way back, I think I'm gonna take an Uber on the way back because my suitcases are going to be full, so I'm not going to have a choice. I don't feel like trekking all over town and the walk with heavy suitcases because I think I'm gonna have 2 full suitcases. Okay, so now I'm in America, and the point of this was talking about readjusting to America. Y'all say you're not wearing masks in Texas. It's weird. My friend, LLO, okay, so backing up a second. LLO said homelessness is real in NYC and LA. Yes. But I'm not, like, it's not so much a homeless issue for me as much of these humans deserve better services, right? Like, somebody should have better options than pooping in an elevator. Because if they're not just pooping on the platform and they're pooping in a private space of an elevator, they were looking for a quiet, safe-ish place to go. And this is what they found. Like, our city services should have more for people than they have. And so, yeah, so like it's a city services issue for me. Like, yes, it is because people don't have what they need, but like, I don't blame the people who don't have what they need. And I'm not saying that you were, but I just to be very clear, like, this for me is your city needs to do better. If people are pooping in elevators, your city needs to do better. Yeah, Yvette said bathrooms are free in America, but where are the bathrooms? There are no bathrooms in the subway station. Like, if you don't look like a customer of a business, how do you get inside the business to use a bathroom? Because most places won't let you in, right? So, like, if someone appears unkempt or homeless, or, you know what I mean, like unhoused, most people aren't like, sure, come on in, use the bathroom, it's free, right? Like, that's not happening. And so, poop in an elevator. Let's do this. We all doing this. Okay. Yeah, it's a mess. A mess. I was talking to a friend yesterday at dinner, and she was like, I feel like New York City is like a bubble of like safety, of like, it feels like a COVID safe bubble. And I was like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, none of y'all are wearing masks. And I can't find hand sanitizer anywhere. Like, why? I can't find hand sanitizer. And she was like, it's safer than this where you live? And I was like, I literally still can't walk into a lot of places without my temperature being taken, without having to use hand sanitizer at the door, and without having a mask on. Like, they removed the mask requirements in Mexico City. I think all of Mexico City I'm going to speak to specifically. So you don't have to wear a mask on the street, but like, not wearing a mask on the street is a sign that you're a foreigner. If you want to look like a local in Mexico City, you wear, even if you're not going to look like a local, but if you want to look like you have some sense that you're from here, you wear a mask. So when she was like, no, I feel like everyone wears a mask here. I'm like, baby, your idea of what everyone is skewed. Because I'm in New York City, like, all these naked faces. all these naked faces. And I don't understand. I do not understand what's happening. Um, so yeah, so I don't feel particularly sick, like COVID safe here. In my hotel, no one's wearing a mask. Like we're all in an elevator together. Y'all not going? Okay. But I'm going to get my booster shot while I'm here. It's one of the things I wanted to do. Oh, and thank you. I forgot to see who sent in a super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, that was Z1. Thank you. Canadian. Ooh, thanks for watching. Yeah, Eric Adams seems terrible. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that while I'm in the city. He sounds like a monster. An absolute monster. Less services for everybody and more police. Like what? That doesn't seem like it's been a working solution in any city, but okay. Yeah, I'm getting my first booster while I'm here because I've been out of the US, and in Mexico they had like that Russian shot, and I was like, I'll wait for the US and get it here because that'll make sense. All right. In New York, I want to tell you about my master plan for New York. So I was looking at tickets. My ticket here was over $700 round trip from Mexico City. It's a 4-hour flight. Why is it $700? Why? Why is it? It was first $900, and then I changed a date, and it changed to $700. So it worked out, but like $700. But I wanted to buy some things, and I probably saved $700 buying them here as opposed to buying them in Mexico. So that worked out well for me, which is why I came with empty suitcases. And it's also why someone asked earlier if I did a no spend January with some of you guys here. And since then, I kept saying that I want to buy a humidifier and an air purifier. And those are the only things that I purchased since on Amazon, since that no spend. That's all I've purchased on Amazon. So now this time, I had a whole bunch of stuff sent to my friend's house in Harlem. And I came with a completely empty full suitcase and like a smaller suitcase that had stuff in it. Some stuff. But let me tell you how little stuff I brought. I brought the clothes on my back and one pair of underwear. The clothes I wore on the plane and one pair of underwear is all I packed for clothes. I was like, I need to go to my friend's house the night I land, pick up my stuff, and hopefully something fits. And if it doesn't fit, I shall be going to a store. I'm not sure. I think I might be overweight. But yeah, but I bought a lot of things that cost a lot more in the US, or I haven't found a way to get well in Mexico. So I'll be stateside for 6 days? 6 days. So not long. But like, none of my bras fit anymore because pandemic, right? And so I went and got a bra fitting yesterday. I bought some clothes. I went and I got jeans because I wanted to go to a place that had like all the jeans, right? So I ended up at Nordstrom on 57th. But I have a friend who lives in Puerto Rico. And I posted on my IG, my Instagram, that I was at JFK. And she was like, "You're here?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Wait, are you here?" She said, "Yeah." So she came up from Puerto Rico. I came up from Mexico. We had no idea that each other were going to be in town. And she was like, "You know what? I was like, "Are you coming to Manhattan at all?" And she's like, "I need to go to Nordstrom." And I was like, "I need to go to Nordstrom." So we ended up both needing to go to the same store. And we both got the same thing at the same store, jeans. We both were like, she had bought some online, and Smart. She bought 3 pairs of the same jeans, and she was like, I will keep the one that fits, and the ones that like that fits the best, the other ones I'm going to return right there on the store. Like, she bought them online and had them like a pickup in the store kind of thing, right? I bought some clothes and shoes and had them sent to my friend's house, picked them up Thursday night when I landed, and then I didn't like one of the pairs of shoes, so I brought it back and then went jean shopping in person with a black woman. It's really nice. Okay, so one of the things I forgot I missed. Morning, Marilyn. I didn't realize you're still in Jamaica. One of the things I didn't realize I missed was like black service people, right? Like, the woman who was helping me shop for jeans was black. And when I was like, okay, so thighs, she was like, I got you, right? Like, she knows what that means. Our waitress, the first night, was a black woman. And I asked her about something, and she gave me like a half a second look, and I was like, you don't have to say nothing more. Like, you don't have to say any, like, she was like legit trying to be subtle, but I caught it. And I was like, okay, I see you. I see what you're saying. I miss that. I miss black women in that context of like the normal day-to-day ways that you might experience black women in the U.S. I miss that. All right, Angela says it's possible to get stuff shipped from the U.S. to Puerto Rico as a cheaper shipping alternative. Yes, so she can get things shipped to Puerto Rico pretty easily, but she wanted to try some things on first. I can't get shipped things. I can get things shipped to Mexico, but it's usually a question of what is it going to cost, and no one, like, the shipping, they'll figure out the shipping costs, but what will customs charge? Whatever customs wants to charge, right? When it gets there, how much like, literally, the people show up with a package to your door, and you need to give the delivery person in cash whatever the customs officer has decided you need to pay in cash. And there's no notice of when they're going to deliver it or how much it's going to be in advance. The man just shows up and he's like, that'll be, like 400 pesos. And I'm like, that, like, you just showed up demanding cash in exchange for my package? If I don't have it, what do we do? I don't. Okay. So yeah, so that's why I don't get that's why I don't get stuff shipped to Mexico, because it's like the process is. But she can get stuff shipped easily to Puerto Rico. She just wanted to try on some things first. So that was a really nice coincidence that, like, we both wanted to do the same thing. But that tells you that living outside of a continental U.S., a lot of what you do when you get back to the U.S. are like getting the things that are harder to get. Like, I can buy jeans in Mexico. Have I ever been to a store that had as many pairs of jeans as Nordstrom had in their jeans section yesterday? I have not in Mexico, right? Have I been to a bra section that had the most? I gotta get a bra fitting at Victoria's Secret, right? But like, wasn't exactly what I'm looking for. But yeah, that Nordstrom bra department treated me well yesterday. And then now I'm going to brunch because I'm in New York and I must brunch. I'm gonna go to Target while I'm here. Y'all have a Trader Joe's out here too, don't you? That was on my list. See if I can get to Trader Joe's. I'm doing things. Literally came up with empty suitcases so I could bring back stuff. Because things like, I broke my iPad about a year ago, and I was looking to replace it. And with tax, all in, no shipping, picking it up in the store, either way, it's $300 more expensive in Mexico than it is in New York City. $300 more expensive for the exact same product. I was like, well, that's like almost half my flight right there. Nubianet said Zabar's, which I know is it's a food store, right? What other store should I hit up while I'm here? What else do I need to do? What must I experience? I'm here until Wednesday. How's inflation in Mexico? I'm not really feeling it directly. Things are more expensive, but it's hard for me to say what inflation is truly doing because most of the pricing that I experience is not a set price. it's this looks like how much you might pay price, right? And so because I'm getting gringo prices, like if I go to a market, I don't know if the tomatoes are really expensive compared to how much they were last week or 3 months ago, because along with inflation, people are realizing that there is a large influx of foreigners, and these foreigners have more money to spend. So I don't know if the increased pricing is an increase in um, in the gringo pricing, or it's an actual product of inflation. Miss Boring says, "Do I have Cobra from my previous job?" I haven't worked for anyone else in 4 years, so no, I don't have Cobra. Um, Joan mentioned Sephora and Ulta. I had packages from Sephora sent, Amazon, Sephora, Nordstrom, Farm Rio. I think that's all the packages I have so far. So, um, yeah. Yeah, Mexico. I mean, okay. So Mexico is cutting down on people who were living down here on a tourist visa. So, yeah. Oh, hey, Day. I'm glad you enjoyed Libri. I hope you were able to make it to her conference this week, which yesterday was the last day, I think. I spoke on Thursday. It was a good event. Um, so yeah, so I think it's important to have a plan. I didn't come up here with um, a full plan, but I'm working on a plan. I'm seeing a lot of people I know. I'm eating and shopping, But when I see the prices of like food here, I'm like, I can get 3 really good meals in Mexico for the price of one. Yeah, I don't know if you can purchase the replays, but I hope you can. I think there's a lot of benefit in it. I'm not. I saw a question about whether I'm moving back here. I'm not. I'm only here for a few days. But I really was like not looking forward to it because I was like, it's really hard. I'm not far from Times Square, Greta, so I might try this Dallas barbecue. It's been a while since I've had like really good barbecue. That's hard to get in Mexico. I got really good barbecue in Paris, but I can't find it in Mexico. Let's see. My hotel room is a mess of things. But yeah, everything I'm wearing is new. Angela, I don't have any restaurants planned. I'm like talking to my friends and I'm like, tell me where to go. Tell me where to meet you. That's it. I'm not thinking about anything. Just, let me know where I should eat. A friend of mine asked me to pick a restaurant and I was like, absolutely not. I will, like, you live here, I'm absolutely not picking a restaurant. Pick something. Tell me where to go. Let's see. The plus sides for me for being here, no, I don't crave living in the U.S. Not at all. Not at all. There are pluses to being here. I'll acknowledge that. Hold on. Like I said, seeing people who look like me in all facets of my life. That's nice. But I mean, poop in the elevator. Like, ooh. Yeah, I don't miss America in that sense. I don't miss America in that everything is like a political issue, right? Like masks in Mexico aren't political. When I was leaving the airport, when I was in the airport in Mexico City, there's an announcement that was going on and on and on. And it said, basically, go on ahead and make sure you have your mask on, right? It was like, we wear masks here, blah, 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 because taking care of yourself means taking care of your neighbor. And I was like, oh, look at them. Look at them. Like, it's very much a we thing, right? It is a we can't, it's not an individual society. It's a very much a community society. I was talking to a friend about that last night, about how like a lot of it is, a lot of the mask wearing versus not mask wearing comes down to economics. Like people who can't afford to take a sick day are much more likely to wear a mask, and you can see it in the streets. You can see, like, that's what all of the like statistics say right now. Um, my friend mentioned Abyssinian the other day, but I hate to admit this on the show. I don't like Ethiopian food. Don't kill me. But it's not my fave. And in Mexico, like, there are a couple different factors that make masks more prevalent. Like, a lot of people live together. Like, you won't be surprised to see like a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 people living in it, right? And they all have to work to pay for it. So not only can one person not afford to get sick because then they cannot pay their rent, but like if one person gets COVID, all 6 of them are probably going to get COVID, right? And every working person in the home is sick because there's no space for you to go anywhere else. So I think that's one of the reasons that like the community aspect of it is just higher in Mexico. Like it's a smaller percent of the population that can afford to get COVID, right? I've talked about this before in the hospital, but in 2020, the public hospitals were full, and the private hospitals wanted $15,000 before they'd let you in. $15,000 before they would let you in the hospital. You weren't getting admitted until you paid $15,000 up front. So even I was like, I won't be leaving the house then because I can't afford to get COVID down here. Like, what are these games y'all playing? So it really is, a lot of it comes down to economics. Like, we can't, like, in Mexico, we are wearing masks because who could afford to get sick? So, yeah, here it's it feels different. It feels like it's a much more political issue. But I don't miss that. I don't miss that, like, everything is politics. And I think I am sheltered a little bit from that in Mexico because I'm not so tied in to not just like Mexican news, but like a lot of what I know is going on, I hear on like, in America, I hear on like Twitter, Instagram. And I'm not looped into a lot of Spanish speaking accounts on Twitter. So I don't always know what's going on or like what the common conversations are. Like, I know what's going on, but I don't always know what the local take of it is, which is why I don't always know. I don't always know if there is some like political fallout from something. I don't mind not knowing. I wouldn't mind not knowing in the U.S. what all the political conversation is all the time. No, I haven't moved back to America. I'm just hanging out for a little while. I have American health insurance. That's the other thing I did. I got my prescriptions filled. Here. I called in to like the virtual service that they do, and I had stuff sent to a pharmacy that was like 2 blocks from my hotel. Got prescriptions filled. I am going to get some things that I can't get down there. I made a whole to-do list. Let me tell you what's on my to-do list that I'm willing to share. But yeah, I got prescriptions filled. I'm going to get my, I got a flu shot yesterday. No, I'm sorry. I got a flu shot in Canada in November, so I don't need that, but I'm going to get a booster vaccine. By the way, in Canada, I walked in, and like, you know how they have their nationalized healthcare? I don't really know. I could, socialism or whatever. I walked in, and the man was like, I was like, hey, I'd like to get a flu shot. And I was like, but I'm not Canadian. I don't live here. And he was like, whatever. The pharmacist was like, you're in the country and we don't want you to be here spreading the flu. So come on, just sit down. Literally no paperwork, didn't pay for anything. He's supposed to charge it to like the government in some way. No idea. He was like, I don't care. Just come get this flu shot. And I was like, it could all be so simple. He really was like, like nothing, no paperwork, no nothing, just. I have insurance with Oscar Health. It's hioscar.com, I think. I do not. Someone just asked a question that I wanted to answer. I'm going to Target. I haven't been yet. I was supposed to go with a friend yesterday, but I had to make it to Brooklyn by 9 a.m. and that to go with her, and that didn't work out. Someone asked me if I consider moving to South Africa. Yeah, I love Johannesburg. I would consider moving to Johannesburg, but not right now. I love Mexico City. I do not have dual citizenship. I have I have residency in Mexico, not citizenship. Citizenship requires like a language test and a whole bunch of stuff, and like I get to vote, but I don't need to vote in Mexico. I'm good. Is there a limit on how many months prescriptions you can take back? I think it depends on what it is and like who gonna check you. I got 3 months of one and 1 month of another. I'll be fine. I need to find. I actually need to like. I said I was gonna find doctors in Mexico in March, and I still haven't done that yet. So it's definitely a conversation. I remember Joan was here for that conversation, and I need to do that. Let's see. So yeah, so I still have. Can you get a U.S. prescription filled in Mexico? Technically, no. I haven't needed to get anything filled, but I couldn't get filled in Mexico. But like, so I can get a not identical, but very, very similar birth control pill in Mexico. But because I don't have insurance down there, I have to pay for it. So I had to pay $20 here, where here I got 3 months for free. And then I have another medication, which I've never tried to get down there, which without insurance is like $600 a month. So I picked that up while I was up here right now. I don't come back. This is my first time back in the U.S. since last June. I do not come here. My mom was like, so I told her I'm in New York until Wednesday. And she was like, oh, great. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. And I was like, I didn't say I was going to, like, she just assumed I was going to Florida. If I'm in America, I must be going to Florida. But child, these flights, Mexico to New York round trip was like, I told you, it was $900 at first, and then I got changed something and it got down to $700. I got a refund on the first ticket, bought a new ticket. Adding in a flight to Florida as like a multi-city trip, kicked it up like $1,000. So it was like $1,800. No. I won't be doing that. To go to Florida? An extra $1,000? And not even a round trip, just that one way from New York to Florida, Florida back to Mexico? An extra $1,000. No. I said no. Oh, I think I told you guys already. I was planning, this is actually a really good point. I was planning to go to Mexico. Nope. I was planning on going to Portugal and Senegal for in May. And when I was like, what if I went right after this? What if I went after New York? Because I can get a direct from New York to Senegal. Child, me and Delta were struggling on the website. Struggling. Y'all know I looked for a first class ticket. I have a really hard time sleeping on flights. And so like being in Delta One, the lay flat, I'm out. So that's what I looked at first. And to go Mexico, New York, Senegal, Paris, because it was an Air France flight, Portugal, Paris or Amsterdam, one of the two I could choose from. Mexico, in first, $16,000. 16,000 United States dollars. So I was like, well, that's a no. Let me see what these coach seats talking about, because I'm not doing that. Let's see what these coach seats talking about. Same route. In coach, $6,000. I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to be in Mexico for the summer. $6,000 in coach? I said, oh, I will be taking a bus to cities in Mexico. I'm not doing that. I'm just not going. And good, I said 16,000 for first, and I was like, I'm not completely surprised. I'm not like, but when it said 6,000 for coach, I said, oh, not me. It won't be me. It'll be somebody else. It will not be me. So instead of going anywhere else after New York City, I'm going directly back to my bed. I wanted to take 6 weeks of traveling, and those prices, I was like, absolutely not. So I might still fly to. I might still fly. What am I saying? I might still travel around Mexico for summer, and maybe some Central America, maybe some South America, a little bit. Mostly, I think, mostly Mexico and Central America this summer. But it shall not be $6,000 for a coach at Cope. I gotta be sitting there. I'm gonna be awake for like 12 plus hours on a flight. Next to somebody for $6,000. It's got to be somebody else, because it's not gonna be me. No, thank you. So yeah, I feel like I've caught you guys up on everything. New York City has been a lot easier. Oh, I wanted to say this. I talked to Adele about this yesterday. One of the reasons I think Mexico City's been so much New York City's been so much easier for me this time is because I have more time, right? I have to do something on Monday. I have a 1-day event, and I gave myself 6 days of doing whatever I wanted. So at this point, I didn't make it to Brooklyn yesterday morning. Okay, I'm gonna go to Brooklyn right after this and see my girl. Instead of seeing her twice, I'll see her once. Okay, right? I don't feel rushed. I feel like if I see it, before my career break, when I traveled, I'd go to a city like New York and be like, okay, I need to go to these museums. I need to do this. I need to do that. And now I'm like, I don't need to do anything. If I stop, if I do anything, okay. If I don't, it's going to be okay too, right? Truly eating and seeing friends is all I really need to do. My friend was like, you should go to the Met. And I was like, maybe not. I don't. So I think my travel style has changed a lot in that I don't feel like I have to do tourist things. I don't feel like I have to if I'm in New York, it's going to be a waste of time and money if I don't do these top 3 tourist attractions that I've never done before. And now I'm like, it's fine. Yeah, so if I don't do anything, I'll be okay. I'll see the people I want to see, eat some food, and go back home. And that's made this experience a lot easier for me. I'm not in a rush to do things or feel like I need to be on schedule or I need to be at a certain place at a certain time. Like I said, Monday is the only time I have to be somewhere, And it's literally an all-day thing. So I know that Monday is like carved out, and every other day it's like, let me just take the train to wherever I'm going and see what's going on. Speaking of taking the train, I bought some new boots that Adelia's gonna be mad. She's not gonna be mad. But when Adelia sees the boots, she's going to say, "Where are you going in those boots?" And I'm now going to brunch in my brunch boots. When she sees them, she's gonna say, "Where are you? But like, where are you wearing those to?" The answer is usually everywhere. But the real answer is nowhere. I'm not wearing them anywhere. But I'm gonna go to brunch in these brunch boots. They're cute, but I can't reach them right now with this microphone on, or I'd show. I'm gonna show you these boots. I'm so excited about them. I'm gonna roll over and I'll show you my butt in this dress. Oh, please. Y'all see how that matches? Y'all see that match there? Ew. They're gonna be super cute. Super cute boots. And so I'm excited about my new boots. Are they comfortable? Not yet. Hopefully they stretch a bit. But I think, yeah, so Adelia says, "Buzz, we're not hang out and explore for Adelia boots." I'm gonna tell y'all, if you ever meet Adelia, you need to wear comfortable shoes, because Adelia will be like, "Okay, we've eaten here. Why don't we go somewhere else?" And then it's like a 30-minute walk. Like if I'm hanging out with Adelia, if I'm going somewhere, I'm like, "Oh, I can't wear those shoes." Like, I need to plan my outfit around the shoes I'm going to wear, because I have to walk. I'll be walking somewhere. I shall be walking somewhere with her. And so I need to wear comfortable shoes. I can't be wearing wedges and heels and things with her, because she's going to have me in these streets. All right, so I'm about to get to these streets. I'm about to go to brunch. About to go to Brooklyn, because Brooklyn people don't come to Manhattan. I still have more things in Harlem to pick up, because the suitcase I brought to Harlem to pick up the things that came in Harlem was not big enough for all the things that were delivered to my friend's place in Harlem. I didn't bring the big suitcase. I brought my small suitcase. My small suitcase can fit everything. So I'm hoping that when I go back, the 2 suitcases I have are not overweight. Everything will fit inside. I just need to make sure the weight's not too much. The weight might be a little bit much. We'll see. Fingers crossed. So that's what's going on with me. New York City hasn't been as rough as I remember, like trying to maneuver through. It's been a lot easier. Yes, I got some hair products that I wanted, but I usually have a good supply of those, of hair products. Yeah, Brooklyn people are like, no. Manhattan, no. But we move. So I picked a lot of stuff. It's been an easy experience. I'm staying near Penn Station, so it's like anything I want is around here. The other day, my friend posted about how much she loves the no-show socks from Old Navy, and I need some new no-show socks, like basic stuff like that. I need some more no-show socks. And you know no-show socks are hard, because half the time, if they're not showing, it's because they're like in the arch of your foot. Like, they have slid down past your heel and are almost in the toe box of your shoe. So I need some new ones. And I got out of a train station, and there's an Old Navy right there. And I was like, look at this. I almost forgot that she said that, but here it is. Okay, so Janelle said something about perfect weather. It's cold here. I don't know what y'all talking about. It's cold. It's cold here. But anyway, I'm definitely trying to experience all the pluses of being here and less of the negatives. Less subway poop, please. I will say this. The other night when I was leaving Harlem, I got at like midnight, I got on a train and I was the only person in the car, and it made me super uncomfortable to be the only person in the car in the middle of the night. Because I was like, I don't know who's going to get in this car next. And I'm a woman traveling alone with multiple bags of things in an empty subway. But it was fine. People came on, it was fine. But I will tell you that was a point where I was like, I don't like this. I think there are so many people in Mexico City that I've never been in an empty train car in Mexico City, ever, right? Like, there's always someone there. But yeah, I got on the car. People soon were like coming on, and there's, 10 people in there in like the next 3 stops. But when I was sitting there by myself, I was like, oh, this is making me very uncomfortable. All right. Eyes up. Let's pay attention to what's going on. So I think that's the only point here where I was like, I don't love this feeling. This was kind of a random session. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for being here. I know there were a lot of questions I did not really address because I'm looking at this on my phone. It's harder on my phone to see the comments. So thanks for bearing with me. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys next time. There's another video coming out on Wednesday. If you haven't liked this video, go ahead and click that like button, please. Por favor. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Bye. If you're not subscribed, subscribe.